What up, my people? ¿Qué pasa, mi gente? Welcome, bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy en Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yasi Rodriguez, on this terrific Thursday. Thank you all for tuning in. Gracias por su apoyo. I'm going to bring on my amazing co-host. We have Nadine Barton, author, actress, entrepreneur. We have Dr. Ciandra, the actionist, author, actress, entrepreneur. Yes. Hello, hello. Hola, ¿cómo están?
Hola. How you say? Hala caliente. Mucho caliente.
Yes, está muy caliente, sí. Tienes mucha razón.
Muy caliente
Hey y'all, hey.
en
Happy
la
Friday.
ATL.
Thursday. I'm about to go to Friday. Happy Thursday.
Yes, hello, hello. Now, in case y'all wondering why we can't see Cece's lovely face, she is traveling, so she is connected audio only. But it's okay because you get to see my lovely face and Nadine's lovely face. So hey, yes, you get to see us, and then you get to hear Cece's voice. Yes. All right. So lovelies, how have your week been since the last time we connected?
Well, the last time it was very rainy. Now it's very hot. I mean, today has been one of the hottest days here. It's crazy. It's like the weather just flip-flopped.
Yeah, I agree. It is very, very warm. And I will say this, it has been warm in general, but today, I don't know, it just feels different. And to think that this is only the beginning because we're not really officially into summer until the 21st of June, right? So I can
Right.
only imagine how much warmer it is going to get for us. It's like, oh gosh.
Last week it was 58 degrees.
Was it really 58
Well,
degrees?
in the morning it was, but then it warmed up. I'm like, this weather is so bipolar.
Right. Hello, hello. It's Swaley 3011. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. All right. So, it's been an interesting week too because I've been coming across some just interesting things in general. I know before we logged on, we were talking about the Apple earbuds. And so I'm just really curious to hear your thoughts about this whole thing because it's very controversial. So Apple has a patent filing for earbuds with biometric biosignal sensors. And pretty much it measures you from head to toe. So heart rate, a core temperature, just pretty much anything with regards to it. But there are concerns with regards to the security of it all, and also because it monitors like your brain signals, your stress levels, your sleep levels, your focus, your mood, health patterns. And that's only the beginning. And some people are like, well, it says the patent is not saying anything with regards to controlling thoughts, supposedly, but people are saying that they feel that way, right? And again, when I say people, I came across a post which the lady had the whole patent. She read it, and she even had her AI break it down, and it was pretty concerning. So, what are your thoughts about that? Because there's people are calling it transhumanism. So there's a step towards turning us into robots. Yikes.
But it's been happening forever, just like CC said. Like, we have the phone where you could download the app for the blood pressure and the heart rate. So I don't know where they're going with this is like an extra step. So
Right. Yeah, no, that's definitely scary. Um, so just being mindful just with anything that you do purchase because technology is really advancing, right? Especially with the whole AI concept, is really being mindful of how you use the product and understanding what you're getting into. There were concerns before where Apple is taking pictures every 12 seconds of you. Pretty much people consider that an invasion of privacy. And it seems like Apple is really in the spotlight. And so I got to dig a little bit deeper about Samsung to see if there's anything, because I never ever hear anything about Samsung. We always hear about Apple for some reason. And I know there's other brands like Google and all that. But I just thought that was interesting to share with the viewers and listeners, just to be mindful when you are investing in a product, what you're investing in, right? And just understanding the potential setbacks that it can have. So
they're not reading the fine print as far as, but I mean, before they already know what product is coming out and how they explain it as far as like monitoring your body. They already know what it is. So even if you don't read the fine print, that's going to be your invasion of privacy. So, you know what I mean? I don't know what they're going to be putting in the fine print. So you have to read it in its entirety. But I know that I won't be getting one of those.
I won't be getting one of those either. No, 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 no.
And just for the people out there, I saw some of the comments. They're like, the language is outrageous. This is not a ratchet podcast. So if you don't want to see what you want to see, just get off.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. This is about life and lifestyle. This is about educating people. We're not your traditional lifestyle. We're not going to sit here and talk about ratchet stuff. Sorry, we ain't got time for the shenanigans. We're here to really educate and enlighten people because that's what it's all about. Life is tough, and everybody needs a dose of some sort of information that you didn't know before. So I agree with you. Thank you for spotlighting that. Nadine, it's one of those things where it's like, we may not be for everyone, and that's a-okay. I mean, hey, there's so many. I read there's like over 1 million podcasts supposedly. I'm like, well, hey, go find your other podcasts.
Go find your village, right?
Yeah, because hey, right here we talk about a little bit of everything, but we're here to educate, enlighten, inspire, entertain, of course, right? And just make sure that the viewers and listeners feel like they're gaining information versus just talking ratchet and drama. Like, no, we ain't got time for the shenanigans.
Yeah, this is not the drama podcast. Sorry.
We are too grown for that. Yes, yes, yes. Cece, I'm just curious to hear your thoughts with regards to. Oh, and it looks like I have you here twice. I'm not sure what's happening. I see double of you. I don't know which one I should select.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it shows me in the show and I can hear it, and then it puts me backstage and then I can't hear anything.
Okay. So do you have any thoughts with regards to the Apple podcast? I know you said that that could be true for all.
Yeah, and I think the fact that they're putting it out for Apple is already happening with all brands across, you know what I'm saying? So, Apple's a big money maker, so of course, but you already have the smart watches and things of that nature, even eyewear, right? That can measure a lot of those things too that people really don't talk about. So the tech is here. We're already using the tech. It's just now coming out, I guess a little bit more talking about the whole brain activity thing, but they're monitoring all that stuff already. I mean, I don't know if it's like quite necessary for us to have all of that because that's radiation going into your bodies. And I think if you need to have a brain test or something like that, a scan or something, then that's where you go to your doctor, right? Not to have something on your body to be measuring these types of things. I don't know. I think there's a fine line. I know we start out, trying to do good things, but it always ends up somehow in the wrong hands, people with, evil and wicked intentions, and it just always kind of goes awry. It definitely needs to be legislation and stuff, to kind of put a rein on a lot of these different things because this can go very badly very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder how much is it gonna cost? I mean, is it out yet, or is that just something they're gonna, put out later on?
I'm sure it's already out in the technology. If they're talking about it, the stuff is already out, and they're probably already beta testing it. I guarantee it.
Facts.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that information. I'm actually going to spotlight a different topic that I came across, which was also I found interesting. So on May 24th, 2026, Arkansas State Police, they were doing a high-speed chase, and the father was in the car with 4 children under the age of 6 inside of an SUV. The chase reported to reach over 100 miles an hour before the vehicle actually crashed and flipped, and a 4-month-old baby was ejected from the SUV. Thankfully, all 4 children, they survived with only minor injuries, and praise God that 4-month-old, especially being ejected from a 100-mile-per-hour high-speed chase, like that's wild. So police say that supposedly they didn't know that children were inside during the pursuit, which, I mean, it could be true. I'm not sure, right? But after the crash, troopers rescued the infant and the other children. The children were taken to Ouachita County Medical Center, and authorities reported found apparently marijuana and defaced illegal firearms in the father's vehicle. So right now, this individual is facing multiple charges, including felony fleeing, child endangerment, reckless driving, traffic violations, and drug firearm charges. What are your thoughts about that? When I read that, I was feeling some type of way because I'm like, really, why would a father put the 4 kids in danger, or just a parent in general? Like even being a mom, like no.
Yeah. I saw that high-speed chase.
Yeah, I believe it was just a regular traffic stop, and the car was tinted, so that's why he didn't know. So the guy, once I think the officer went, to get his information to come back to the vehicle, he ran, and then that's when the officer proceeded to chase him. So I mean, the officer had all rights to chase him. He didn't know that there were like children in the car, so he proceeded to chase him. And then when he stopped, when the car crashed, I saw, the baby was ejected. And then when he went to closer, then he saw all the other kids in there, and he took them out the car. And one of them already had like a cast on her hand, on her arm. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that too, and my heart was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, it was too much. I can't even like think about it. And I'm wondering, like, for a mom, like, what is the mom going to say of those children? Like, I don't know if this was her husband, boyfriend, whomever, but that is like insane. And he need to be behind bars, because obviously something was going on for him to like just take off like that. You know what I'm saying? But it was drugs or something. He maybe had a warrant. I don't know, but thank God, like you said, Yessie, that those babies were safe with minor
Well,
injuries.
he didn't want the police to see the drugs and the guns in the car. I think that's what it was. That's why he fled.
Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yeah, thank goodness they're a-okay, and God had his hand over those kids, and I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, I do feel bad for them, because hopefully the mother will step up if she is in the picture. Hopefully she is, right? But nowadays we just don't know. I've been coming across a lot more reports where there's just parents failing their children. And I'm a big advocate on birth control. I mentioned it many times in the show. It's like, if you're not ready to be a parent, please put yourself on birth control, because being a parent is a big responsibility. Not only are you taking care of an individual, but you're raising a young human who's going to eventually go out into society. And based on their upbringing, based on how they are treated at home, whatever they deal with, that's going to bleed into the society, good or bad.
Exactly.
So
you make a valid point.
Yeah, being a parent is not easy for sure. I have another topic I want to talk about, but before I spotlight my other ones, any topics that you all have that you want to bring up?
The gas station pump. Did you see that one?
I have not. Share.
I shared it in the group. So basically, what it was, I don't know how true it is, but they put like a nail into the gas station owners. They put a nail into the pump, and then when you drive off, look in the group, you'll see real quick. When you drive off, then your card is being charged. So the guy came back and he started recording it. And the gas station owners, like two Indian guys, they had the Shell thing on their shirt. And the guy was telling him with the camera in his face, like, take that out now. And the guy, he was like going back and forth and cussing the guy out. And he said, I'm going to ruin your company. I'm going to report you or whatever. They were all in the guy's face. But if you look at the video, you'll see they put like a nail. It was on the news. I saw the clip. They put a nail in the pump before they close the pump. You put the what do you call it, the lift on the thing, and then they start reading your card. So whoever comes behind you with that nail, then your card is being charged. So I guess apparently the guy probably noticed and came back.
Yeah. That sounds scary, sis. And do you remember where this happened?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Oh, goodness. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Usually between New York and New Jersey, interesting things tend to happen. But I get it. It's like both of them are melting pots. They have different cultures and different people with different upbringings. So yeah, that's wow.
And the guy was going crazy. He was like, because the guy came and snatched it out of his hand and threw it on the floor. And he was like, take that out now. Take that out. Take the nail out now. And the guy was all in his face, cussing him out like, you've ruined my property. And he's like, you've been caught on tape and you talk about ruin my property. Like, really, dude?
So a nail. Wow, that is really interesting. I'm definitely going to have to look at that when we finish the show, because I'm trying to put like in my mind how that would go. But wow. That's interesting for sure.
Yeah. And the other hot topic is the Carmelo Anthony kid. Remember, the case is now over. He got charged for 35 years, I think, in prison. Mm-hmm. Remember, he had stabbed a kid or something like that. But they were saying it was like self-defense and all this stuff. The black kid, he had no record or anything. You guys remember? Yeah.
The track meet. Yes, the track meet. I saw that last night.
Yep. So with that, what's interesting, because me and Ra were talking about it, and shout out to our special guest who is Ra. He's going to be joining us momentarily. But I did look it up because there were people posting online that they were upset because they had donated towards the crowdfunding, which apparently it reached over 600K. And supposedly the parents just use it on travel, on anything else, expensive cars and what have you, versus actually using it towards their child's attorney and legal fees. And so I actually looked it up because I'm like, well, if these individuals donated, trusting that in good faith this money was going to be actually used to help Carmelo Anthony in his case, can they sue? And so according to my research that I did here, apparently with the crowdfunding that they put together, and this is also education for the viewers and listeners, when you are doing donations, like it's great that you're donating, but just being mindful of what you donate towards, right? So apparently the campaign doesn't necessarily describe that it was only solely for attorney fees. Reports say that it included broader purposes like legal defense, relocation, living expenses, transportation, counseling, and security, which means that technically the parents behind that extra dialogue or extra cushion that they have, an attorney can say that because that was included, the money was used legally, right? So, and that matters because if the fundraiser language allowed money to be used for living, security, relocation, then donors may have a harder time proving that the money that they thought was only going to be for legal fees was actually used under false pretenses.
Well, not for lavish travel, especially if they're taking a trip to the DR or Puerto Rico or Mexico or wherever, not for lavish travel or for a new Mercedes or whatever the case is. So they should be able to differentiate of what they were using it for, you know what I mean? So that's crazy.
Yeah, and so I'm hearing too that it was like the trial was in their home state. So I don't know what relocation they needed. You know what I'm saying?
Unless he was being bullied.
Now, I will say this young man is only 14. His whole life, for what, 35, 40 years, he's going to be in prison. I feel like his parents failed him, because a lot of those morals and values you learn from, again, your household, right? This is what you learn in your household from your parent, which then in turn that bleeds into society. And this is another example. So wherever this young man learned that self-defense and bringing a knife and what have you, that was obviously either taught by a parent or maybe being around the wrong influence. But again, it deals with a parent if they were not fully committed or around to say, hey, son, or hey, whoever, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, right? So parenting is very, very, very important. Hence why I always say, if you're not ready to be a parent, please put yourself in birth control. Please use protection.
They said it wasn't a knife though, Yessie. They said it was because, I used to run track as well. So they said it was the thing that you used to adjust your cleats for your track shoes. So that's what he had in his bag. And the guy, it was raining and he went under their tent just to come out of the rain, and they started bullying him. And apparently they were bullying him before. So I'm not sure about the whole story, but as for what I was reading in the comments, I read that's what happened.
Right. No, and thank you for clarifying that for sure. So then if he's been being bullied before, then my concern is what is the actual, like, what did the parents do? What did the school do? Right? What did the principal do? Like, there's so many adult leaders that should have stepped in well before this even escalated to this point, that this young man felt the need to take matters into his own hands, and now a life was lost. And like, I was joking with Rod, I was like, they could have just listened to what's that Michael Jackson song?
Which one?
With the gangs. Oh God,
Smooth Criminal, or just Beat It?
Beat It. Yes. All they had to do was listen to Beat It, because it ain't worth it. Like, a poor man lost his life, and another one lost his life too, because now he's locked up in jail. So 2 people, technically. So it's like, come on now. We got to do better out here for sure. We got to do better. All right. Well, before I transition over, any last minute comments before I do a sponsor spotlight and bring on our special guest?
No, we're good.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and transition over into our sponsors. So don't go anywhere. Hoy en Día TV will be right back. Vamos de regreso de nuevo. No se vayan.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose, Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cabzenzas isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessirodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth. In the job market, transformation has never been closer because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Yes, book your free consultation. Find your purpose. We get it. Life is hard. No es fácil. It is not easy, but we do have someone here that can help you out. Also, invest in your skin too. It is the largest organ in the body and it needs some love, some TLC. We don't want to be ashy. We want to stay hydrated, right? And it helps with anti-aging. The more you stay hydrated, you look younger. That's important. You want to age like fine wine, right? Also, invest in your wardrobe. Get some Collective Wear. Yes. We also have Collective Custom Wear shirts here, Hoy en Día TV. So Collective Wear can help you invest in your wardrobe and just bring it to life, right? Yes. All right. So we're going to pivot over to our special guest. I'm going to read his bio. So our special guest today is a creative entrepreneur, producer, brand builder based in North Carolina. As the founder of Collective Grind Enterprise, LLC, our special guest develops innovative content across film, digital media, apparel, and live experiences designed to inspire creators to take action on their ideas. Through ventures such as Collective Wear, the Collective Visions, and Sparking Conversation podcast, he provides platforms for artists, entrepreneurs, and innovators to really showcase their talent and connect with opportunities. Our special guest is also the visionary behind We Don't Wait, We Create, which is coming again, part 2, August 22nd. So hopefully you all have your tickets. We would love to see you there, by the way. And what We Don't Wait, We Create is a networking and collaboration event and movement dedicated to bringing together actors, filmmakers, designers, musicians, and content creators who really believe in building opportunities instead of waiting for them to happen, right? You don't want to sit around and twiddle your thumbs all day. We got to create it. So his mission is to empower individuals to turn creativity into tangible results while fostering a culture of collaboration, ownership, and forward momentum. So without further ado, we have our special guest, Rashid Ra1 Myers. Welcome to Hoy en Día TV.
Yo, what up, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Welcome.
Well, we are
Definitely.
truly thrilled, truly excited to have you. You have an amazing bio and just, I feel like it didn't really capture everything because you're also a musician and you do just so much. So tell us in a nutshell, who is Ra1?
Yikes. Okay, so that's one. That's a hard question to answer, right? Because you're right. I do a lot, but I think for the most part, I think I would like to just say I'm a person that believes in the gift that they were given. You know, I just feel like, you know, everybody has a purpose. And I'm just thankful that God allowed me to find my way to my purpose outside of just doing things that I desire to do. So I just think that I'm more purpose driven. If I wanted to really tell people exactly who I am, you know, I wouldn't want to, you know, just base things on what I do and just say, yo, I'm a filmmaker, I'm an artist, I'm this and that. Cause you know, all that encompasses just being creative, right? But I think more so I'm purpose driven. So yeah, I like to go with that one.
You're muted. You're on mute.
Yeah.
right. Thank you. Oh, and it looks like we lost Cece. All right. So, with all that you do, was there a specific moment in your life when you really realized that you didn't just want to wait for opportunities, you wanted to create them? Hence, we don't wait, we create, right? And what did you do to create those?
Well, to be honest, show, it's kind of just the story of my life, right? Because growing up, I really didn't have like the older people or the people that was in charge of whatever our upbringing would be. They really didn't support our visions or our dreams as kids, right? So you had to figure out your own way. And with that, it kind of was one of those things that I kind of fell into because I was open to, basically where I'm from. So in Jersey, I'm from Jersey, but I'm from East Orange, New Jersey. So in my small town, there's so many people that are famous that are just from my area. Right. So you have Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown, he used to be there all the time with New Edition. But then you got Queen Latifah, you have Naughty by Nature, you have Lauryn Hill and Wyclef, you have Shaquille O'Neal, you have the Winans, you have, it's just so many people from just my one little town. And these are all people that I grew up around or been around or seen or, and in that, it kind of like the city kind of opened up that thing for me that allowed me to say, yo, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This might be something that I like to do. Outside of that, that's the only thing I can really say that really, gave me that whole vision of saying I could do, like, oh, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt it. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, I could do that. Because I knew people that was already doing it, and they were really successful at what they were doing. I was too young, but, at the same time, I always knew. I was like, yo, I could do this, yo. So it was kind of one of those things for me, right? It wasn't based on having that support growing up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay, awesome. I like that. So you definitely took the bull by the horns. You were like, you know what? Let me just create these opportunities and keep it moving. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that background. Also, I wanted to ask too, you have a lot going on. So how do you really stay focused when you have so many creative projects happening at once?
I think that's a part of it, right? You have to be able to, do more than one thing. You can't just get stuck in one lane, right? Not when you are, when you want to get it done, because there's a lot of times in life that the people around us are just there to test us, right? Are there to help us get to the next level. A lot of times we allow the people around us to stagnate us or to stop us from going certain places or doing certain things, right? And with that, learning that people are lessons, it kind of allows me to be able to balance things out, right? Because you don't ever want to be caught out on the highway without a spare tire, so to speak. So I just don't really allow myself to get stagnated, right? And I don't allow other people's versions of what they think a person should do and not do to dictate what I'm gonna do, right? So I don't see it no other way. Like I really wish it was like a button you could push. You know how like people got dating sites and stuff like that? They go out there to try to meet somebody just for that. I wish it was places where you could just meet people who just think alike. Like we don't care about boyfriend, girlfriend. Keep all that. Keep your stuff to yourself, yo. I just want to know where people think like this, right? 'Cause, that's the vibe, right? It's all about, thinking in a way that you can solve things, right? Like using logic to solve and not always using overthinking and negativity. So I think for me, being able to do all those different things is because I first vision it. And then I'm not going to lie, I can't take credit for everything that I get, meditating and all these other things. I allow visions to download. And then from there, I do them, and because they turn out some type of way, I realize I'm on the right path. So that's why I still do all these multiple things and not just focus on one.
That is awesome. Yes. I'm going to spotlight Nadine for her questions. I have some more, but I'm going to wait for mine. Nadine, what questions do you have for our guest?
Yes. Welcome, Raw One. Welcome. We're happy to have you. So my question. So my question is, what challenges have you faced while building opportunities for artists, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, and content creators, and how did you overcome them?
Well, the most thing that I face is people who say they want to do something, but it's really not in them, right? I think for me, the hardest thing about being who I am is that I see things in people that they may not see in themselves.
Mm,
But with that, it comes a sense of disappointment too whenever people don't follow through. So I think for me, overcoming that was just, I guess, being a person that always had whatever the next plan was. So instead of going in there and just saying, "All right, this is the way it is, this is where it's going to be willing to pivot." That been the best way for me to be able to adapt, to be able to pivot. So, for
mm,
example, if I call for filming and I have 15 people saying that they're going to film, but only 5 people show up, I'm gonna still film, right? I'm just gonna pivot. Where at that one particular time I might have thought that I had it all this type of way because of the people that said they was gonna come, but then when those that show up, I have to be able to go with the flow. I can't be all disappointed. Oh man, these people ain't coming. I can't do it now and all that. Nah, that's corny. So I understand that the vision was given to me, and so I overcome it by still pushing,
right.
right? Not allowing that to be a deterrent for what I feel like the vision should be. It's just that I got to look at things like this. Whoever comes or whoever shows up is who's meant to be there, regardless of who I want there.
Yeah.
And just being able to have that type of mindset and not taking stuff personal, just staying out my emotions when it comes down to it. Because at the end of the day, people either going to be mad or they're going to be happy. But either way it go, they're going to have to pick a choice when it comes to me because I'm going to keep going. Word.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was well said. So with that, my other question is, so what advice would you give someone who said, they're or who's waiting for their big break?
Well, I will tell them that waiting for your big break doesn't mean that that's going to be your career. Like either you want a career or you want a break, or do you want a moment or do you want a career? Because there's a lot of people who went viral who can't go viral again. They keep chasing the same thing, right? Or there's people who saying, like, for example, they want to be in movies. They get in a movie, then they realize it may be a year before the next one, right? But it's not that you won't get paid. That's not my thing. Is not that, but it's more so, what do you love to do? So if there's something that you love to do, giving another person control over that is like taking it from God. Like God give us the gift, and then we want to give it away to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Right, we're quick to look for a deal or be signed somewhere, or looking at this person as being able to create our lives to take us to the next level. Not understanding that if it's your gift that's going to go there, then your gift can take you there. The only difference is when I talk to people, they think I'm trying to talk them out of their dream. But a dream is when you sleep. A vision is up, sleep, walking, whatever. It's up to you to follow what your vision is. It's not up for nobody else to come in and just be like, yo, listen, word is born. I got this part for you, and this is what it's gonna be, and you're gonna blow, and you're gonna do all this. And then when everybody come to find out that you did great in that role, but then it's like, what's what's coming next? Like, what else you got? Because people's attention is it's like too short. It's like, yo, what have you done for me lately type thing. But
Right.
when you hungry as a person, you just can't allow somebody else to dictate if you're good enough or not. We do that in regular life without our gifts. We allow other people around us to make us feel adequate enough to make us feel important when we should be important to ourselves first. Word. And not made to be feel like you're selfish because you have some type of sense of pride. Because that's why I don't have felonies and I don't have a whole bunch of kids out here and I don't have a whole bunch of stuff, because I take pride in being able to say I'm a creative first. Word.
Wow, that was a good answer. I was smiling because as soon as you started talking about dream, I also created a quote, and it says, every dream has an entry fee, a decision. So goes right in line with what you're saying. So yeah,
Facts.
thanks for that. Yeah. So go
Facts.
ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that. I hope everybody's picking up what he's putting down. I'm like, let me pass around the offering plate because that was a good sermon right there. Okay.
Right.
Right? That's funny.
Yes, I'm loving what you're saying about the vision because the vision is given to you and you're making the vision happen. I'm loving what you're saying about, no matter who shows, you're still going to go forth. It shows that you're committed. It shows that tenacity. And so I totally love that. My question is, what do you love most about what you do and why?
I don't know if I have a most, right? I guess I treat it like how we would treat our children, right? We'll have, if we got more than one child, I think we all love them the same. We just love them differently. So I think that's how I look at it. Like I don't have one over the other. Like my first passion has been music. Music is what's gotten me all of my opportunities. It's just that I found myself in a place where, being creative. I just figured out just being creative completely made me feel more fulfilled. I would say music is what kept me grounded, right? Always looking for the next beat, always looking for an opportunity to be in the studio, always finding a quiet place to write. I'm one of those people that I don't mind being by myself. I take those moments to have time to myself. And in those, it's not like I need to sit there and be quiet. And there's the times when I do that. Because I do a lot of that in the mornings and stuff like that. I ground and all that other stuff. But I think for the most part, I just love being creative though. See, I don't think it's one that I would choose over the other. I think I do it all. I had no choice because when doing music, we had to do music videos and people we were coming to people and we were saying, yo, this is a song, this is what we got. And then they was coming back with no ideas. They were just showing up with the camera. So I still had to come up with the idea. And I'm like, yo, why am I, you ain't even getting director credit. I started making the people shooting the video, I started giving them shot and edited. And then I would take the producer credit because I'm like, the director credit because I'm like, yo, why am I directing my own? This is what we pay. Yo, okay, bet. So from that point on, I just have been directing all of most of our music videos. And then from there, it just kind of progressed for me to be like, you know what? Because we took songs and did short films. We created short films out of our songs and stuff like that. We were, really early on with that type of vision. And so I don't know if I have one over the other. I did professional ring announcement, right, for sports, for boxing, amateur, professional, and MMA. But I only got that opportunity because I was on a television show, right? So I got that opportunity, but I was a second Black licensed ring announcer in the history of North Carolina. So I'm like, in the history books, right? Out here just from being able to take those opportunities. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know. See, I just feel like just the fact of being creative is how I'm able to get whatever opportunity I'm getting. And I love them all, to be honest with you.
Fantastic.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. How do you, because in the industry that you're in, there's so many things that so many people want to do. People, they pull on you, they want you here, they want you there, they want you everywhere. And then there's things that you want to do, right? And you want to be in some of the larger circles and things of that nature, right? To kind of push that vision forward. How do you deal with the no's? Because there are a lot of no's in this industry. So how do you deal with that? What advice can you give those people that are out there doing something that you're doing, like you're doing, and wanting to be bigger and better and all those kind of things? How do you deal with the no?
I don't ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I created. I think the no come from, where people come and they asking people for something without presenting value. I like to walk into every room with value already. So it's not like I'm coming and asking for anybody to say anything. It's more like, do you want to be a part of? And then if they don't want to be a part of, it doesn't stop the train from moving. So I would suggest that for everybody out there that is pursuing. Now, if you're pursuing what you consider a dream, first, just figure out if that's aligned with your purpose or not. That's what I'm saying. I think all of us have to figure out our purpose in what we're doing. Because if you can do that, then you'll understand that the no's are not no in a negative way. The no is a good thing because you might not need to be connected with this person. You might not need to be in a situation that these people might have put you in. So looking understanding that no's are just as good as the yes. If you are a person that's not waiting on the opportunity. But now, if you're a person that's just waiting on that validation or waiting on that one opportunity to come, then that no gonna bother you, right? But being a man, emotional intelligence, we have to learn that through rejection, right? We can't learn that if everybody's always telling us yes all the time, right? Our position to be a leader, like your position to be a leader, is that you're going to have to deal with opposition. And opposition is no. That word is going to come up no matter what. Somebody going to say no, or what you trying to do is going to be a no for you. Like, listen, you on your way to something, and then now all of a sudden your tire flat, your car locked, your keys locked in the car. A lot of times your no will come from not even hearing somebody say it. Just that, yo, God, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? That ain't your vibe, yo. That's not your lane right there. But some of us don't recognize that. And then that's when we give up, because we think that it's more against us than for us. So I would just tell anybody out there, you're going to hear no. You're going to hear it. It's just that whenever you hear yeah, be ready. Be ready so you don't got to get ready. Stay ready. That's it. So whenever you hear yeah, you ready to roll. But when you hear no, be prepared for it. Just don't stop what you're doing. Remember, no is not a bad thing. No is just as good as a yes whenever you're still pushing. So that's what I would say to a person who's really out here trying to get to it. Just be prepared for the no.
Wow.
I love that. You sure one of your other things is not, be an inspirational speaker and stuff like that? Because you really you got to add that to your repertoire.
Oh, I don't know. I think for the most part, I think that's why I think my podcast does what it does. It's more so that because I talk to so many different people that deal with so many things in life that will never get me a viral moment, that allows me to be able to kind of just tap into that whole thing that I always felt. And that's always about motivation, because, I be looking for it myself. It's very hard to do what I do without having to motivate myself, because there's not a bunch of people coming in saying, yo, good job. I like what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I don't get all that. What I get is people seeing it, and I could sell they see it because I could see the views, but then the likes and comments and stuff don't match up with what the views are. But I know who see it because I could get to see it in the background when you got a business page.
Yeah.
But then those are the same people that you'll be around at some point, or you'll be around, or even people that be in the stuff that you're doing. A lot of times, even the people that are working with you, they're looking at you in a way where it's like, yeah, I think he's going somewhere. I'm gonna rock with him, but they still low key don't really want you to get there, because at they know where their level of importance is, because they don't take the time to market and promote the stuff that they're in themselves. So that's how I really realized all of this, and just saying, like, I just want to continue to motivate people, because I'm going to leave you right where you are. So I'd rather motivate enough for people to get it, at least my perspective. So it's not looked at as if it's a me thing. Like, that's why I don't use the word I, and none of I do. It's always we. We don't wait, we create. Even though I'm creating and I ain't waiting. But I say we, right? It like speaking in the future, like we. Like who's that? Who rolling with me? I don't know, but we. Right? So I think, they pretty much, in a nutshell, I think that's pretty much my vibe right there.
Yeah, and you're saying great things, and I agree. I echo with Cece. Like, definitely, I can see motivational speaker to add to your resume too, Ross. So something to consider. Another purpose that you can you have there.
Yeah, Cece said, pass around the collection plate. Like,
yeah, we gonna see. Yo, listen, I'm a follow. I'm a follow. I'm not gonna just jump out the window, but I'm a follow though. So whenever I hear that voice, and if it comes an opportunity and it's there, I wouldn't mind doing it, because I do love to motivate people. I get it off on that, yo. Like, I really get a kick out of, almost looking at people and saying like, yo, you killed that, or like, yo, this is fly, or this is dope, or you better keep going. Like, I don't want to hear no excuse. And that's another thing too. That's why I think I only have a select amount of friends, because I'm not the guy that you can come to and have an excuse, I guess. You know what I mean? For me, it's like, nah, okay, well, yo, what's the solution then?
Right.
You can't come to me and just problem dwell all the time. You can't do that with me. I'm not here for that. I have empathy for people, not sympathy. Word.
I love
Or
that.
you could be a coach. You know, if you don't want to do the motivational speaker, you could be a coach.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I guess for me, I just really am inspired to find people who think like me, if not so much, but have the inspiration inside of them to just want to be great at just being themselves. You know, not be great to be shown or seen in front of everybody, but just be great at being you. You know how hard it is to just be who you are? You know, we grow up with somebody else keep telling us what we should be and not be and all this other stuff. Very seldom do we, have people in our lives that look at us and can sense the things that make us great and make us hone in or want us to hone in on that. You know what I mean? And that's what I feel like my vibe is. Like, I'd rather be that person in a person's life more than anything else. Like, I don't care about nobody calling me the best of anything for them. Best friend, best this. I don't care about that. What I want to go down as is a person that said to you, like, yo, you can make that. I'm really being careful. Because I know all you ladies, you all ladies, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't curse, because it just come out. So if y'all hear me pause a little bit, that's because I'm trying not to be on y'all platform, because that's another thing. I don't know if people really ready for that, because I'm a big ghetto, but it's all love. We're gonna make it through.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So you said a mouthful with regards to like people that support, right? So what do you think the North Carolina creative scene really needs right now at this moment? And to follow up with that is, how can creatives support each other better without really feeling like they're in competition?
I would say in this area, or like in any area, because everywhere that there's a large majority of creatives, it's always a bunch of people who are not serious. It's like it's a bunch of people who are looking to be seen, but there are very few people who love what they do, or they find a passion in it. I think a lot of people just either have the look, or somebody told them that they were funny or whatever, and then they just jump out the window. And I think that's the vibe. They want to be seen. So I think in this area, I don't really know, because there's so much that happened in North Carolina. Like, I mean, outside of them not having the tax no more, but when they did, oh man, I mean, between Wilmington and Charlotte, I mean, like some of the biggest movies ever were done here, right? Television shows as well too, which is a lot still being filmed here in Wilmington. So I don't really know. I think a lot is here. I just think that mindset is the biggest killer of all things creative in all areas of, especially here. People got to have the mindset of understanding that they should be wanting to make money and not get paid. Once people could get out of that survival mode of allowing a person to pay them 100 instead of making 1,000, then they could get to it. But people, it's a mindset thing. You got to really truly understand that, you shouldn't be for sale. And if a person can grasp that part, right? The 9-to-5 mentality keeps a lot of people sold. $1 amount an hour, or overtime this or whatever. It keeps people in a space of being sold. You trading time for money. So when I think that mentality crosses over to everything, so now people want to get paid instead of wanting to make money. I'd rather make money than get paid. So I was hoping that a lot of people get that particular, thing in this area. Stop looking to get paid and start looking to make money. And what I mean by that is that if you are doing a movie and you need music for the movie, then why not get with the artist, the independent artist, and get music for your movie? It'll help each other out. If you need clothes for your movie, then why won't you get with the clothing line? It'll help everybody out. The goal, but the problem is that people they look to get paid. You're not thinking about it from the other aspect. You know, Hollywood wasn't made overnight, but it definitely wasn't made over people getting paid.
Or
It was
they wait.
made off people wanting to make money, not get paid. It's a big difference in that. And I know for some people they're gonna be like, it's the same thing. Then that's what I'm talking about. That's the mindset of people I don't want to be around.
Right. Yeah, no, and I'm so glad you broke that down because that definitely aligns with your read, wait, recreate, right? That phrase, that movement overall is that is not always about getting paid. It's about networking and collaborating with the right people, right? And making sure that you're working so that way you eventually, all of y'all, get that bag together, not just getting paid temporarily. So that
That's
makes
right.
sense. Yeah,
Or
no, I
they,
love
or they
that.
wait for that free, like I put in the chat, they wait for that free 99. They want, what I noticed is a lot of people, they want stuff done for free.
Yeah, yeah. Or they want to get paid, but it's like, okay, let me see your portfolio. What have you done? What is your experience, right? Like, what can you bring to the table? If you're still
Yeah.
working years and you're still got a lot to learn, I mean, would you agree or disagree, Rob?
No, I'm saying, you know, it's an investment. Anytime you paying somebody, it's an investment. You got to look for a return on your investment. And there's a lot of people who feel like just because of whatever is a means why they should get paid. When I always tell people, I be like, I bet. Are we doing report cards? Are we lining up resumes? Because I'm sure mine is mad longer than yours, yo. So if it's gonna be a thing where it's about somebody getting paid, then you probably should pay me for giving you an opportunity if it's about that. But it ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Because what people keep failing to realize is that social media, right? You shouldn't be on there if you're not on there to monetize. Who cares about you telling everybody your business or what you ate? Who cares about that? Right? But if you're in a space where you're on social media, you should be trying to monetize. That's number one. Number two, what quicker way to monetize than you working with people who are working? So, for example, everybody that's in skits with me, it shouldn't be a day go by that they're not marketing and promoting themselves in them skits. Not one, right? Because all it's going to do is help their algorithm and it's going to help anything else they post. Why? Because it's going to come across my feed that they shared it. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to share it. And then it keeps it moving. But I noticed that when it comes down to people, they like to show up. They'll be in it. They'll be there. They might share it one time, but if they really believed in the fact that of what they were doing, they wouldn't wait on me to post something that they're in, and they wouldn't wait just to post what they're in. They'll look at the movement. They'll say, listen, the more eyes that we get on the movement, so whenever my joints drop that I'm in, that's how many people are going to be prepared to check me out. So it's a mindset thing. And I mean, and that's it. That's why if y'all notice, I don't go in. I don't tell people, hey, y'all share the event. I don't do none of that. I don't, because at the end of the day, it's the same thing I'm saying to all people. You know, you're gonna be mad at me because I'm gonna keep going. And it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't have to argue with people, but like, yo, you ain't do X, Y, and Z. I'm saying it's there. So if this was something that you really wanted to do, you do. I don't want people to think they're doing it for me. And I think that's the problem. People may think that they're doing it for the person. No, you're doing it for you. What is the vision that God gave you? Did he give you that? Because if he did, that's why he sent you to me. Because he said, I'm gonna send you with my son. I mean, what do you want? Not me. Like, what do you want? That's what you gotta ask yourself. Like, don't be just, yo, I'm gonna show up, right? Show up, but what do you want? That's the vibe. Like, if you don't know what you want, then you're gonna be a person that's just gonna, you're gonna do the bare minimum. You gotta, nothing in life is gonna get successful if you're just doing the bare minimum. Word.
No, that's a good point. Absolutely. Nadine, do you have a follow-up questions for Ra?
Yeah, so my follow-up question was going to be, since you're doing the we don't wait, we create, so are you going to make that a regular North Carolina thing, just so that it's another project that's going to be in the North Carolina area for artists and people to come out and show their skills?
Yeah. But my ultimate goal is to turn it into a weekend, right? Like, I want to create a award show out of it too, for creators and people in the fashion industry, and just to be recognized for the things that they're doing, from having a big $5,000 cameras to having a little $500-$600 iPhone or whatever they have. Like, I want to be able to turn it into that, and I want We Don't Wait, We Create to be something of value, because even now, like my for the next one I got lined up for 2027, I already have some really big names that's lined up only because I'm able to interview them on my platform. So
Nice.
the ultimate goal is that, yes, in between we don't wait, we create is what I'm actually trying to push, right? So the projects, more documentaries, right? Because I'm connected with so many people who need a real they story told in a documentary form. So we don't have that many documentarians around here. That's weird to me. Like, we gotta have different facets of the business. So my goal is to bring that aspect, not just that, but all of it. We're looking for television series for people who want to do, television series. We're doing I'm taking my skits live. Coming up soon, we're going to be doing a lot of the skits I already did. We're going to be doing them live like a play, right? But it's not going to be a play, but it's going to be a play style. So we're going to be doing that. It's so many different aspects of what I'm building behind We Don't Wait, We Create. So eventually, it's going to be a weekend thing, right? And again, followed up with an award show that weekend too. So it's going to be that thing. And as far as other cities, I have been asked already if I'm going to bring it to other cities. And as of right now, nah, I don't think so. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it here, only because the one thing that I did realize about here is that there's probably about 60 to 75% of people that are here that are not from here. Because of all the colleges and all that other stuff, right? So it's so much diversity in the Raleigh area of North Carolina, this whole thing with all of these different colleges and different things like that. And all the proximity too, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, all the way around. Fayetteville, you know how I go all the way around, y'all, even down to Virginia. So I want to keep it here because I want to make sure that people have a place that they could come where it's more of a collective, right? Versus it being, if I just go to Miami, then it's just going to be people in Miami, that type of vibe. If I come to Atlanta, it'll be just that type of vibe. New York, same thing. Now, y'all get out y'all crib. Y'all get out the way. Come here and let's get to it, because at the end of the day, my goal is not to have people live here. My goal is to say, between these events, what you doing?
Yeah.
What you doing it, right? And yo, is we using this hashtag or what? What we doing? That's my goal in between. We want to see the work. You know what I mean? So yeah, eventually it's gonna turn into a weekend. I'm glad you asked me that, because it's definitely that type of vibe. You know what I mean?
Then you got to develop it too there in your area first before, maybe later on when it kind of like boom, then you'll say, okay, we're going to take it to Atlanta or take it to Miami.
Yeah. Especially when it comes down to the kind of like seminar part, right? Because what we want to do is be able to have those type of summits, right? Maybe We Don't Wait, We Create will be what it is, but then we might do some summits where we go to different cities and stuff like that will have us, or who want to host us, and then I bring the people that I'm working with on top of whoever's working in those areas, and then we do some more inspiration and doing some more extra, things to try to get people to move through. But my ultimate goal is to meet people that want to work. Like, I think it's the best way to cast. You get what I'm saying? I think that's the vibe too, because so many people don't have agents too. It's a lot of great talent that don't have agents. You know what I mean? And and then with people having to make that choice, whether they want to go with SAG or stay, outside of the union. Look, we want to be able to get both, because I'm connected with people who are doing union stuff. So we want to be able to send you there if you are with the union. Like, yo, I got somebody that you could check out. Boom. I'm not saying that I want to create a way where people skip the audition, but I do want to create it to where it's like, yo, man, look, check their resume out, man. Don't have them going through all this, man. You know if they good enough for the part or not. Stop playing. They don't need to be doing self-taping. Look, bro, what you want them to be, a nurse? All right, here's their scenes of them being a nurse. What else you need? You need them to be what are you talking? You need a mechanic? I bet. This is the thing. Look at their joint. See if that'll work. And if that is, I want to get to that point where I'm not trying to take away the whole traditional audition part, but I am trying to tell people, stop playing with people. If you know that they good and you know what they got, like, yo, approach them with the role, right? stop having people waiting for a yes, because the only thing I'm hearing from all the celebrities so far that I've been interviewing, I had Charmin Lee on today, and I know she's out in Atlanta, and she be doing all of the big coachings and all that other stuff. I had Carl Gilliard on here too, and they said the same thing. The one thing about it is that they did all these extra things so they could stop waiting on people to give them a job. They said they kept waiting on a job. So we want to get past all that. What up, dude? I'm on the interview. You want to interview too now?
You know what, Ra? I'm so glad you said that, because people feel like having an agent is the end all be all. No, it is not. And you have two celebrity examples to prove to you that they didn't wait for their agent to get them bookings, right? They had to do their own thing. So having an agent, people, is not the end all be all. You still have to network. You still have to collaborate. You still have to do your work, because your agent is not always going to find you bookings. I mean, I have an agent and I still find myself bookings. So it's one of those things where having an agent is not going to make or break you. What really makes or breaks you is who you are as a person, your networking, right? Your personality, how you show up on set. Don't act like a diva. Don't act like, oh yeah, I'm just, no, be humble, and make sure you come prepared. Make sure that you know your lines. Make sure that you're ready. When lights, camera, action, those are the extra things. So I'm really glad that you have confirmation from individuals who are considered celebrities to say, hey, they couldn't wait for their agents to give them jobs, because it just wasn't coming, right? The well was dry. They had to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then so many people, they get typecasted. So I know there's a lot of people who have a lot more range or depth into their acting ability. So it's like, let's create it, right? Like, let's create it. You saying hi, Diggy? Say hi. Say what up.
Hi, baby. Oh, look at that handsome face. So,
so that's I definitely get where y'all coming from.
So, Rod, let me tell you that. Let me ask you this. So, for someone who is hearing about We Don't Wait, We Create for the very first time, they're like, what is We Don't Wait, We Create? What can I expect? And why should I come? Tell them, give them a glimpse as to what the experience is like for We Don't Wait, We Create.
So so far, what I would like people to know is that we got Vincent M. Ward from The Walking Dead coming, right? So he's gonna be chopping it up with everybody, and plus he has his own platforms and people. He's still filming and got a whole bunch of stuff that's just dropping and new stuff coming and all that. So I think for me, what I want people to come and experience from this time, the first time I did it, I really did it like as a kickback type situation. Because I just wanted to, I really just thought about it in a way of like building. Y'all know how it's like that crawl before you walk thing. I had to learn to do that, right? Because God shows you the big picture. He just don't show you the steps on your way to the big picture. So sometimes you try to jump out there and create that big picture already, and you ain't take the necessary steps. So it's just taking the smaller steps to the bigger picture. But I do want people to know that if they come, that they should leave with a real connection. And there will be opportunity for people. So if you're an actor, or if you are into filmmaking, or if you are, as far as like the crew concerned, because we're still looking for people who are behind the scenes, who want to be directors and are screenwriters and want to be on set like that. And then for models and for clothing, like, bridging the gap in between what it means to collectively network versus just coming together and just saying, hey, I was at this event, it was cool or whatever. Nah, because, every time somebody comes from something with me, we work. So, yeah, it's like that. So I just hope that for the most part that people get that what I'm trying to create is not just another thing for people to come.
Yeah.
It's more so to create a space where creatives and, from all aspects of the business can come together and really get to that bag,
Absolutely. I love that. So thank you for sharing that, for sure, because it's really about what you make of it. You coming as an individual in general, right? Whoever's watching and just listening, it is your responsibility to make sure that you are making those connections with those right people that are going to help you, and you're going to help them. It's a collaboration. That's why it's called We Don't Wait, We Create. Let's collaborate together. Let's create together. Let's grow together, right? So we can get to that next level and not wait for people to give us opportunities. We're going to come together, kumbaya, let's brainstorm, and let's execute the project together, right?
Let's go.
Yes, I love that.
Network.
Cece, any follow-up questions for our guests? I have a couple more.
Yeah, totally. Final question is what does success look like to you? What is that for you?
For me, man, I think just being a dad.
Oh, excuse me.
I mean, that's the biggest success that I think for me. Yeah, exactly. Because that has been one of the hardest things for me to do in my life. Like I've had too many situations where that was one of the hardest things to do, and I think a lot of things or a lot of situations that I'm not going to consider that a loss, but it was all because of me following my vision and not following people. So where it looks like I took a bunch of losses from things because I, wanted to do more with my life. Um, I think success to me is just being able to be free. Uh, Freedom is my number one thing. Like I want to do the things that I love to do without it seeming like it's work, but I also want to be there for my kids. You know what I'm saying? To be able to actually show them or create an opportunity through them watching me create whatever it is that I'm doing. Not that they have to be like me, but just that they could get the epic, like pick up the epic from me, right? Because I have two boys, so I want them to be able to see um, what it's like to have responsibility and complete things that they start. Because I think that's the one thing about me. I think if most people don't get nothing else from me, it's like, yo, I actually complete what I start, So, okay.
That is, yeah, thank you for sharing that. Now, Ra, a lot of people don't realize or don't know that June is actually Men's Health Month and Men's Mental Health Month. And you
Gotcha.
being a man, this is going to be a question I'm going to ask you, and just in general for the viewers and listeners as well, in case they're a man listening or they have a partner, spouse, sibling, etc. So, with Men's Health Month, it really focuses on encouraging men to really take care of their physical and mental health, including those screenings, those preventions, heart health, prostate health, mental wellness, right? And with that, the mental part of it, the depression, anxiety, suicide prevention, emotional expression, a lot of the feelings that humans in general, regardless of gender, go through. So as a man, what would be your food for thought to help individuals who may feel like they're feeling, some type of way that will really help them get out of that funk and really execute whatever it is that God has downloaded them in their brain to do and to move forward?
Ooh, wow. That's heavy. Uh, I don't, being that all men are not the same. I think for me, the thing that has helped me, um, is that I always looked at the things that I'm facing. I always looked at it as something to like to get through. I guess it's like instead of me just allowing things that happen in life to cause me to not move forward, I think I always looked at whatever that light, the end of that tunnel thing is, right? I've always been intrigued on the other side. You know what? If I keep going, or if this, instead of just, because mentally it's not easy, right? Because you're being creative or you're being in this space, but you have to really think about all these other things that come. You got bills, you got other people who want your attention, you got family, you have trauma that you're healing from, you have decisions to make about choices. You don't know if this is going to happen, you don't know where that's coming from. You have to deal, it's just so much that you have to deal with mentally, that I think for a lot of people it's really hard, especially if you're concerned about the way other people think about you, on top of everything else that you're dealing with. And I think for most men, that's what we suffer with the most, is the feeling of being important to people. I think we suffer from that more than we suffer from anything else, is the feeling of being important, because in so many instances in life, people could take or leave you because of the image that comes with you being a man, especially if you're considered to be whatever, a black man, whatever. I don't like to identify as a color, so I don't. But in that sense, it's a lot that come with that, right? You're not necessarily always guaranteed to make it back home whenever you leave every day. But I think that is one of the things that people overlook the most, right? So I would just say to most men that are dealing with things in that capacity where, overthinking and just the stress of whatever it is your responsibilities are, I would say you have to find you a connection with the creator. Because you have to be able to understand the difference between things that you can control and what you cannot. And you got to be able to look for the lesson in everything. You can't look at everything as a loss because it don't feel good, right? You got to be able to look at a lot of things as a lesson. And ego and pride is not the same thing. You really have to be able to check your ego. Word. You have to really be able to check your ego, right? Because there's always somebody better than you somewhere. So be the best version of you that you could be. And a lot of times that's going to take you having to give your issues to the person that created you. You're going to have to put your cape up. I think that's the one thing about it. You're going to have to hang your cape up every now and then. So if you don't have a connection with God, and whichever way you look at it, universe, spirit, whatever that thing is, if you don't have a connection with it, it's really nothing that I can say that's going to help you.
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing that helps me. You know what I mean? That's what's really helping me. Not everything else. Like, that's helping me having that connection.
Thank you for sharing that. That definitely makes a lot of sense. And I agree, having that spiritual connection with whatever it is, the being that an individual is connected to is definitely important. So thank you for shedding light on that for sure, especially in light of Men's Health Month, right? We hear in general like Mental Health Month, but when I came across that, I was like, that's interesting. I'm really glad that we're finally spotlighting men, because men feel emotions just like women do. Men go through things just like women do. And for whatever reason, it doesn't really get spotlighted so much. So I really appreciate you being a man that's coming from a man's perspective of what food for thought for people, for sure. Yeah. Nadine, do you have any follow-up questions for our guests before we pivot over to our last minute words?
No, I do not. Thank you, Ra.
Cece, what about
Yeah, no doubt, y'all.
No, we're good. I really enjoyed it. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah,
no doubt, yo. Thanks for having me, y'all.
My last question before we pivot over to last minute words is mainly about what's next. What can we expect? Where can people find you, follow you, etc.?
What's next? So outside of We Don't Wait, We Create, I'm pivoting. So as far as filming is concerned, I'm pivoting, and I'm going into I'm still going to be doing skits, but I'm going into the third installment of Kill No One as the short film comedy, and then I'm jumping into some full-length films, and in between I'm still going to be doing skits, but I'm going to change the way that I'm doing them. And yeah, so right now, just for everybody that's following me, you can find me on any social media platform by just searching the hashtag Ra1, and you'll find me. That's the easiest way for me to tell y'all where to find me. And just stay connected, because we pushing, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep building on what we have and just continue to make it grow. Just keep watering, that's it. So yeah, we staying focused, and We Don't Wait, We Create. I just want y'all to know that it is going to turn into a weekend. Trust me, it's going to be that vibe. I'm telling you, it's going to be that thing where people are going to come and they're going to get something from coming every time. I promise, it's going to be that vibe. So yeah, I'm just staying focused on the things in front of me. That's all.
I meant to ask you, Ra. You ever thought about doing any verticals?
Yeah. So I looked at that, right, and I think the only thing is with the verticals is that I think they're trying to copy Country Wayne style, right? But they're doing it more like professional editing and just changing the aspect ratio. So technically, they're not really doing verticals. They're just changing the aspect ratio on traditional filming. And so what I'm looking at is the series, right? It's just shorter, right? They're doing like 1.5 million or so in their things, and I'm already doing that. So I think for me, I think the natural progression is I think verticals are dope. I think it's new. I just don't think it'll take the place of traditional filming, the regular horizontal style, because I mean it's going to be what it's going to be. I just think that right now I'm gonna stay in my lane, but I do eventually see myself dabbling into it here and there. I'm gonna get into it. It's just not something that I'm ready to jump on right away.
Right.
But yeah, because I'm already doing the series, so just changing the aspect ratio wouldn't really be much of a difference, right? I just yeah, I'm just trying to stay in my lane real quick, and then I'm gonna eventually get into it. But that's the goal about bringing more actors in. So that's one of the things why I'm looking for people who are a little bit more serious, because I don't have to be in everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the goal about building my channel. I'm still trying to find those people that are serious enough to where I could do 1-offs or 2-offs or 3-offs with them and throw them up too. They don't have to always be in my storyline. And that's what I'm looking for. So eventually I'm gonna get there, because some of the verticals I want to do, I don't need to be in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Those verticals though, they really get addicting. I mean, I first started watching like the Korean ones, and oh boy, the storylines, I was addicted to watching. I'll be staying up late at night. I'm on my phone like, oh, what's the next episode? What's the, it's so
Yeah. It's like that.
You know what
It's
I'm
like
talking
that.
about. You laughing, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm coming, dude.
That is so funny. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to pivot over to our last minute words, and this is the opportunity for each and every one of us to say whatever comes to heart. So if you have a quote, if you have just any final thoughts that we didn't talk about today that you want to say, remind the viewers and listeners, etc., feel free to say that. To get an idea of how that looks, I'm going to have Nadine start us off, followed by Cece. Raw, you'll go third, and I'll close out with the remaining sponsors.
So yes, my name is Nadine Barton. As you see on the screen, you can find me on Facebook with that name right there. Same thing on Instagram, Nadia B_1202. Author, entrepreneur, actress. You could find my books on NadineBarton.com. Also, I came up with a new quote, and it says, "Every dream has an entry fee, a decision." So, hey, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a writer, just make the decision to start the book, start doing what you need to do, and just make that decision to, progress on yourself and not waiting for anybody to help you do that. So just get out of your comfort zone. And when you stop thinking about what the other people have to say about you, then you will start doing what you need to do. And that's it for me.
Hey, I'm your girl, Sienna the Actionist with Inspire for Purpose. You can find me on the www at inspireforpurpose.com or girlswithgig.com. And as I always say, remember, nothing positive ever came from negative thinking. As always, love and light and inspire for purpose.
Super dope. All right, y'all. So I am your boy Rod One, host and producer of Sparking Conversation, creator of We Don't Wait, We Create, Collective Visions, Collective Wear, Collective Music Group, and all things in between, yo. The one thing I like to say, like I tell everybody, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So stay focused out there and keep pushing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being our special guest. I feel like we got to bring you on for a part 2, because I really want to get more into the weeds with Sparking Conversation, especially asking about your guests and stuff. But because of time, we're definitely going to have to bring you on for a part 2, Ross. So let's connect and make sure that we get to part 3. Yeah. However, we'll bring you on again. It's all good. However many times it is, we'll bring you on for sure. But before I say my last minute words, we're going to spotlight 2 remaining sponsors. So please don't go anywhere. Hoy en día. We'll be right back. Estamos de regreso. No te vayas.
Sponsored by Divine Beauty and Accessories. Watch Hoy en Día TV, Thursday, 7:30 p.m.
Are you looking for the perfect shirt for that special occasion? At Collective Custom Wear, we bring your vision to life. From weddings, family reunions, anniversaries, or casual outing with friends, express yourself with your unique style and leave a memorable mark. Order now. Our custom shirts are designed just for you.
Yes, order now. Whether you have a wedding, an anniversary, a birthday party, whatever it is that you have, Collective Custom Wear has you covered. And also make sure you look good with the accessories. Simply go on my website, YesiRodriguez.com, select the drop down where you shop, and you can buy accessories. Also, serious actors and models, Slay the Scene Academy is here. Go on my website, YesiRodriguez.com. Drop down, select Slay the Scene Academy, register. You have to invest in your craft. invest it the same way you invest to pay hundreds and thousands of dollars to go to a university. I mean, it's the same way. It's not going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, but you still have to invest in perfecting your craft. Whether you go to a technical school, you're learning a craft, acting is a craft. People have to believe you. People have to see your passion. You have to sell the product. And if you don't sell the product, then unfortunately, you're not selling yourself, right? So definitely register. Classes are coming up. Slay the Scene Academy. Also, if you missed a past episode of Hoy en Dia TV, again, go on the website, find us on YouTube, on Facebook. Past episodes are there. You can listen to us. You can find us, follow us, whether you're at the gym, whether you're at taking a walk, whatever it is, cooking, cleaning, listen to Hoy en Dia TV. We have definitely a lot of inspiration here that we share because that is our purpose, is to positively motivate, educate, enlighten, inspire, and entertain you, the viewer and listener. And for those who want to be a sponsor or be a guest on Hoy en Dia, simply email hoyendiatv@gmail.com. For those who want to find me and follow me, simply go on Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez. Thank you all in advance for your support. And hey, we are here. So until next time, hasta pronto. Have a good night, y'all.